Wednesday and work with law enforcement agencies across several states to stop it. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect mostly cloudy skies with a brisk breeze, along with a few showers and a thunderstorm. Some of these thunderstorms may produce hail and strong winds. The temperature will reach a high of 75. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 56. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into your everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, intouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God's promises. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit intouch.org today.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver, but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Virago is fending off viruses and making America healthy again.
Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Huber. I'm one of the co-founders of Virago, the immune enhancement cocktail. Here are some of the testimonials of Virago users.
Hello, my name is Jim Thompson. I started taking Virago about a year and a half ago. I was diagnosed with a heart condition, and in fact, I was at the Cleveland Clinic applying for one of their trials. The bad news is that I was not accepted for the trial. The good news is that my heart was healthier than they wanted, and I believe that's a result of taking Virago. I can also attest that I have not had the flu or COVID since I started taking Virago. I can definitely attest to my satisfaction with staying healthy by taking Virago every day.
Boost your immune system with Virago. Order your bottle today. Visit myvirago.com. That's myvirago.com.
And use promo code IMMUNE to get 30% off.
That's myvirago.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. Virago and Maha, making America healthy again.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Protecting Your Assets with Steve Shyman. Listen Saturday mornings at 8. Learn more at willsave.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
The following live program is sponsored by Breakthrough Ideas.
AM 560, The Answer. It's time for breaking news, expert insight, and informed commentary on what's happening in Springfield, Chicago, and beyond. Because an informed citizenry is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for The Real Story with Jeanne Ives and Amy Jacobson.
All right. Wow, it's great to be back in the studio and back at this effort of ours to raise awareness about what's going on in Illinois and actually in Chicagoland and everywhere else. We're your state and local resource for information. That's what we try to focus on in this particular hour that we have with you to listen in to everything that we talk about. No, this first segment I'm calling Leftists Are At It Again. They're at their hoaxes again. Leftists behaving badly. And we got 3 examples to bring with you. The first one, of course, comes to us with the cross-burning guy. The person of interest in the Grant Park cross-burning incident speaks out. Apparently, NBC5 was able to find this man and talk to him.
Yeah, he's a senior at where else? University of Illinois, Chicago. He's from Naperville, went to Neuqua Valley, played tennis there. And he's sitting freely, Jeannie, on a park bench on a nice day with a microphone on, sitting next to Chuck Gowdy. And he put the cross in. It was a week ago today, and a lot of people drove by, and a lot of people saw it. On top of the cross was a red hat representing MAGA. And this is why he did it.
It came up to my head one day. I wanted to find something that I could do by myself, like no organization, no friends, no. I did know about this historical relevance beforehand, but I didn't know the severity, how racially motivated it may seem from what I did, because my protest has nothing to do with race, nothing to do with gender.
Should you have done it some other way?
Yeah, probably.
Merlin Liu is a 21-year-old Naperville native.
And Liu rips this forehand shot.
That's him playing tennis at Neuqua Valley High School, where he was graduated in 2022. Last week, Liu sent this scripted video to NBC, claiming responsibility for the cross burning, but saying he had no affiliation with the Ku Klux Klan, apologizing to those who were offended. In the video, he also criticized President Trump.
I don't want to wait till his term ends. I don't want to wait until he may or may not get impeached.
I'm just done with this guy. I mean, talk about a privileged guy. He grew up in Naperville. He went to Neuqua Valley, one of the most, well-regarded schools out there. His class was made up of 42%. The majority of the plurality of students, the largest plurality, is Asian. So he was not marginalized in any sort of way. The problem is he didn't know his history because he didn't learn his history because of all the woke policies in Indian Prairie 204 and all the other folks around Naperville as well. I mean, this is Trump derangement syndrome, and this is what the result of it. And so instead of him sitting his ass in jail for burning a cross, anybody else who had done that, anybody else who would have done that.
Well, if it was a white guy, he would have been arrested. But here's the
100%.
thing. The rest of the interview, which we can get to later, he talked about, he said, is this a hate crime? He goes, no, this isn't a hate crime. Yes, it is. It's a hate crime against President Trump. That is a hate crime. And I know every crime's a hate crime because every crime is violent and that is similar to hate. So he should be charged. Now, the FBI and Chicago police, we learned, will determine whether or not this was a hate crime and what charges may be filed against him. But to see him just sitting there enjoying a sunny, beautiful day in Chicago yesterday, I mean, I shouldn't be shocked because people try to kill people and they're still out on electronic monitoring, but he's had no charges filed against him.
Merlin Liu, senior Merlin Liu should not graduate. He shouldn't graduate. He should be in jail. He should be arrested, and he should be trying to, I guess you can't post bond anymore. Find some friendly judge to let him out. I would say he's a threat. He's absolutely a threat. And where's the SPLC when you need him?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
312-642-5600.
You can call us on that line or text us. I am outraged because it was it wasn't a little cross. We're talking about a cross taller than me, 6 foot high plus cross with the MAGA red hat on top of it. He's just sending a message. And through the interview, he just sounded like he needed some help. He needed some counseling. This kid's not right. And the fact that he did not associate a burning cross with the KKK is surprising. And you're right. It's because of the woke policies. They don't talk about it. Why? Because the KKK were Democrats.
He probably's got Chinese parents who forced him to learn well enough to get, a 1,600 in his SAT or something and think that he's smart enough to be a U.S. citizen and carry on the history of us. And maybe he's probably a U.S. citizen for all I know. I don't know if his parents are first generation here. I'd like to know that. I kind of like to know what their assimilation was into the country. How far back do they go? That's what I would like to know. And I'd like to know who his history teacher was. And I'd like them to know whether or not, guess what? Who the Klans people were? Oh, they were Democrats.
Yeah. 312-642-5600. He went on, he said, that he had no affiliation with the KKK, apologized to those who were offended, but criticized Trump. He said, I don't want to wait till his term ends. I don't want to wait until he may or may not get impeached. I want him gone right now. Do you think burning a cross in Grant Park in broad daylight is going to get Trump gone? No, it's not, but it keeps promoting violence. And this is a president who has been shot at or assassination attempt 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they doing? What are the feds doing? Why isn't he behind bars right now?
It's really a mystery to me. But I mean, it's just another leftist hoax that we keep seeing around here. They're full of them. And then we've got the alderman who can't tell the difference between a bomb and fireworks.
Well, it goes beyond. All right, so hear for yourself. This was at 12:45 a.m. Saturday morning in Pilsen, in front of his house. He's married, and he has triplets, and they're turning 4 years old next week. And here's the noise. Okay, now he said he woke up to that. If you heard that noise, and he and his neighbors thought maybe it was a transformer that fell because of all the high winds we've had, and if you heard that, Jeannie, as a mom and as somebody who's a homeowner, wouldn't you call police right away? Because Sigcho Lopez waited 9 hours to notify authorities. And if you see the video, if anybody's lit off a firework for 4th of July, it was a firework. It was not a bomb. But here he is yesterday acting like the victim. And this is the guy who has burned an American flag at a public gathering, at a protest. He wears the Palestinian scarf constantly. He never takes it off. I bet he takes a shower with it, Jeannie. It's always on. He's pro-Palestinian. He's pro-Hamas. And now he's acting like a victim.
That kind of explosion in the middle of the night with the families and children in the homes is despicable. And I think that the kind of explosive that it was used, and this is to me is an act of political violence unless they prove me otherwise.
Oh, give me a break.
Well, he said, Jeannie, now he's hired his own attorney.
Sorry, but I want him to speak without an accent. Sorry. I mean, seriously.
Well,
You're going to run for Congress now?
Well, he is. Okay, so that's the thing. So we found out a day before this alleged bomb went off that his bid to be a congressman is in serious trouble after the records were examined. He's 1,222 signatures under the minimum required to make the ballot. So he might not even make the ballot. He said he's going to be challenging that with all the signatures, but he is supportive of other alder people who are worried about their safety too. Here's Rosanna Sanchez.
And I hope that this doesn't become a pattern, right? I really hope that this is a one-off, that somebody was angry and decided to take it off in that way.
Meanwhile, Alderman Ray Lopez, who is going to join us in the 11:35 spot, he was basically mocking his colleague for not understanding the difference between a bomb and a fireworks. And then, of course, like you said, you wait 9 hours. You literally think it's a bomb, and you wait 9 hours to call police.
9 hours.
Another hoax.
Here's Alderman Lopez.
People blowing off fireworks is not an act of political violence, retribution, or anything to do with his commentary on daily life. To try to milk this into a political win for himself while he's running for higher office is really questionable at best.
I love Alderman Lopez.
He's great.
He works with these people too, and he doesn't care.
No, he's one of the few Democrats.
What they say.
Yep.
But it's this whole thing, like, Alderman Vasquez had a dead rat in front of his house. I have dead rats in front of my house all day because we live in the city. There's dead rats.
Wait, isn't city the rattiest? Chicago's the rattiest city in America.
Just ask the feral cats. Mine that killed 5 rats in one day. You don't call police and say, "Oh my God, I have a dead rat on my property." I mean, and that, and then Spizzato.
This is why I live in Wheaton.
Yeah, there's a whole list of
we don't have that running around
political figure. You don't have any rats.
Oh, we have rats. We definitely. They're all on our local school board, in my opinion, because they're all woke. But we don't literally have rats like the city does. But okay, in another realm of leftists really behaving badly. and this really gets into my crawl because it's an indivisible group. This one happens to be in northern Westchester, New York. But I'll tell you what, the indivisible groups here in DuPage County are some of the most awful people around. Here they go. Mike Lawler, congressman from New York. He had this post on X. Concentration camps, Klan hoods, a flag-draped coffin with a curse word over it. That is the iconography Northern Westchester Indivisible carries through our towns, and decided the right place for its next performance was the hometown of a murdered 18-year-old after her sister, that doesn't make sense, posted that there was a knife in her family's wound. She said it was a knife in their family's wound, yet they did it anyway. Every candidate who counts on indivisible volunteers owes the Gormans an answer. Is this what your movement stands for? And he put out a further post. The Gorman family said it was incredibly painful. Northern Westchester Indivisible heard them and is protesting again anyway. And that's what basically they did. They held another dance party against immigration enforcement staged in the hometown of the family that buried their 18-year-old daughter 10 weeks earlier. Sheridan Gorman was shot and killed near her college campus in Chicago, March 19th. The man charged with her murder is an undocumented immigrant. And Sheridan's sister Madeline responded with extraordinary restraint. Seeing an anti-ICE protest take place in our hometown, a town that means so much to my family, has been incredibly painful. These are the streets we grew up on, the schools we attended, the fields where we played. Yorktown's town supervisor publicly asked the question every neighbor was asking, why here and why now? This is how the left does not care about the sensitivities of anybody else in their own hometown of the Gormans.
I mean, they're already hurting. They're hurting every second of every day. They're hurting while they sleep because they lost their daughter to somebody who was here illegally and somebody who didn't show up for their court appearances. Got a text message. Amy and Jeannie, remember when Laspada threw a rock through his own window? Or Vasquez put a dead rat in his doorway? Thank you. I already mentioned that. Fuentes faking that she was arrested and hurt by ICE. She was in plastic handcuffs, Jeannie, for less than 10 minutes. And then, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, help me. Less than 10 minutes. Okay.
Right.
They all need so much attention all the time. How did we get here?
Yeah, well, I don't know. And this is something we need to assess, especially in the wake of our 250th anniversary, where we really, patriots, overturned tyranny. And now these people have this fake tyranny, like this goofball, absolute goofball, moron, Merlin Liu, a UIC student. Aren't you proud of him, UIC? Aren't you proud of him?
Neuqua Valley, Naperville, any comments?
Yeah, right. Well, let's go to John in Mundelein. John, welcome to the program.
Good morning, ladies. So some stupid kid burns a cross in Grant Park, and he says it's, not racist. It's he wants people to see it as a form of protest. And I know, Amy, you're like, oh, it's a hate crime against Trump. He should be thrown in jail. But, of course, Trump supporters hung a noose on the lawn of the Capitol, and Trump pardoned them all. And you guys are okay with that, right? Because that was good protest, reasonable protest.
I do not recall. When did that happen, John?
On January 6th, 2021, when they hung a noose on the Capitol, the lawn of the Capitol building, before they stormed it and beat the hell out of cops because Trump lied to them about an election.
That was John.
Wrong.
You're really wrong.
And then he pardoned them all. Then they were all pardoned.
Yeah, well, they were rightly pardoned, quite frankly.
Again.
They did spend time in jail.
Okay,
this kid's out walking around.
This kid's walking around. He's nothing happening to him. How about the fake idea that there's a noose at a racetrack when it's just simply
it's a garage pulley?
Yeah, I know. No, all right, enough of him. Oh my gosh.
Well, but I'd like to hear from the left.
Sure, yeah. They're still running the J6 stuff, which was, who knows? If there was a noose there, how much you want to bet it was one of those FBI agents under Biden's direction?
That is a possibility.
And
they
Jim
could have
Comey
said, bring props.
Yeah,
remember the
props.
the electric cord at the Obama Center construction site?
Oh, yeah.
That they thought was a noose right away.
I know.
FBI, there was a $100,000 reward, Jeannie, to get that thing. Because get the person behind it. And my source told me it was just an electrical cord. Because you know how you wrap the cord up in a figure eight, and part of it fell down. So, I mean,
Well, wokeness is not dead, unfortunately, in Illinois. I was hoping maybe it was going to die, but it is not. DEI is still around, and we're going to discuss coming up in our next segment this Dennis Byrne article, Illinois Comprehensive Numeracy Plan, what you should know about it.
Subscribe to the Real Story Podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or at 560theanswer.com.
RedState.com captures the pulse of grassroots conservatism. Red State staff of contributors are on top of breaking news with stories and analysis that challenge the established agenda. RedState.com educates, motivates, and activates passionate conservatives across America, arming them with the facts that put them ahead of the political curve. No wonder RedState.com is a must-read for elected officials and for citizens who want to make their vote count. RedState.com is the place where influence meets action. Log on to RedState.com today.
Let me ask you something. Does your garage floor look bad? Covered in salt, cracked, or stained from the winter's brutal blast? Well, I've got a fix for you so you can start enjoying your garage this spring. Contact my good friends at Level 10 Coatings. Level 10 brought my garage floor from dirty and gross to showroom, shiny new in just one day. Level 10 Coatings can do the same for you. A quick and easy fix, permanent durable solution. Guaranteed to never chip or peel. Get it done now so you can enjoy your garage this spring and summer. Schedule your free quote today and mention me, Amy, for $500 off. Visit level10coatings.com. That's level, the number 10, coatings.com. Level10coatings.com or call 855-510-2628. Again, that's 855-510-2628. Level 10 Coatings, your premier concrete coating experts.
The mainstream media isn't just biased. They're hiding stories from you, deliberately. Restoration News is changing that. With elite researchers and fearless writers, Restoration News is the conservative media force fighting back in the information war for America's future. Download the Restoration News mobile app today or visit restoration-news.com. That's restoration-news.com. Real stories, real truth. It's time you knew what they don't want you to know.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, welcome back. It's Jeanne and Amy. We're here live in the studios. Our phone number is 312-642-5600. Well, Ben Carson's sounding an alarm about Marxists in America's schools, and he started his American Cornerstone Institute, and he's taken on what he sees as one of the most urgent challenges facing the country, the erosion of American history in the minds of its youngest citizens. Very good for him. This is an article from Daily Signal. It's called Star Spangled Adventures, the movie. It's a feature-length animated film produced through his Little Patriots program. Maybe Merlin Liu needs to be a little patriot and join the Little Patriot program. Yep. Carson opened up about the Marxist influence he sees creeping into public schools, the providential moments in American history that he believes are being deliberately erased from textbooks, and why he thinks equipping young people with the truth about their nation's founding is the most important fight of our time. I couldn't agree more. Yep. So maybe Merlin Liu can spend, pay enough time to just listen for just 5 to 10 minute vignettes of important things that happen in our history. Maybe he could learn from somebody like Ben Carson. Maybe he needs to go back to Schoolhouse Rock. we had on Saturdays.
Exactly. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday
You know?
with Stephanie Tressel when she came on. She talked about
the
better
she's
days.
great.
Oh, yeah, we talked. It was great because we were talking about the bicentennial. And, you know, with all these people coming in for the World Cup, they're appreciating America so much more than Democrats in America are appreciating. They appreciate the little things like the wide roads, the clean streets, the offerings you have at restaurants and at places like Buc-ee's. I mean, it's just really adorable to watch. And then people in Japan, after they played, I think they played the Netherlands, they cleaned up their area.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had a garbage bag and made sure that they left it cleaner than when they went to the game.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, that's great. So anyway, about Illinois' comprehensive numeracy plan, Dennis Byrne on the spot here. He said, no doubt too many Illinois students can't do math. Only 38.4% of them meet the state standards for proficiency. Obviously, something must be done. The Illinois Department of Education agrees. So the department now has released the Illinois Numeracy Plan, a 192-page document that's chock full of ideas, aids, and workbook exercises for teachers to improve math proficiency. But something seems to be amiss with the word numeracy. Here's a definition. The ability for all students to confidently understand, interpret, and apply mathematical concepts across all domains of mathematics in a variety of real-world and academic context. Well, in actuality, no surprise then the document is loaded with jargon, gobbledygook, and baffle-gab. For example, make rigor accessible through strong and thoughtful scaffolding. Who knows? But as he waded through, he came across an entire section called Equity, Dismantling Racism in Mathematics Instruction. That's what they're working on. It's a framework for deconstructing racism in mathematics, and it offers essential characteristics of anti-racist math educators and critical approaches to dismantling white supremacy in math classrooms by making visible the toxic characteristics of white supremacy culture with respect to math. You cannot make this up. In English, it means indoctrinating kids with the far left creed. He's absolutely right. Here's an example. Here's two examples. One, a group of youth aged 14, 15, 16 go to the store. Candy bars are on sale for 43 cents each buy a total of 12 candy bars. How much do they spend, not including tax? Otherwise, here's a different problem set. Factory workers aged 14, 15, and 16 in Honduras make kids' children's clothing for Walmart. Each worker earns 43 cents an hour and works a 14-hour shift each day. How much does each worker make in one day? This is the garbage that's going on. This is why you have people like Merlin Liu burning crosses in Grant Park, not understanding the historical significance of all that, when he grew up as one of the most privileged people in America.
Text message, don't forget the UMass student that discarded a banana peel on a tree that caused a national kerfluffle about a hate crime. It was a kid simply throwing away a banana peel.
Yep.
All right. Coming up next, he's called out Sigcho Lopez for a possible hoax, but he has a new proposal for city council members tomorrow. We'll have a preview of it when we come back with Alderman Lopez.
The Sean Thompson Show.
I don't care what they are. A doctor, a lawyer, a butcher, a baker, or a candlestick maker. If they're a Democrat, they're a frickin' criminal. They do nothing. Good for nothing. They cannot tell the truth. They pretend to be what exactly? Anything other than what they are. The greatest political mafia this country's ever seen.
The Sean Thompson Show. Weekday afternoons at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The time and place confirmed for Iran and the U.S. to formally sign a deal to end the fighting.
The stunning lakeside resort of Bergenstock, Switzerland, will be the setting for the ceremonial signing of the agreement to end the war with Iran. The Swiss Foreign Ministry has made the announcement. Vice President J.D. Vance is due to ink the deal on behalf of President Trump.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, the FBI revealing that they thwarted an alleged plot targeting this past weekend's UFC Freedom 250 event at the White House.
Officials telling Fox a network of nearly 24 potential plotters were identified, and the alleged plan allegedly included explosive-packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation, and then steering crowds, get this, toward a pre-staged sniper team.
Fox's Todd Pyro, America's listening to Fox News.
your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect mostly cloudy skies with a brisk breeze, a few showers, and the possibility of a thunderstorm bringing hail and strong winds. The temperature will reach a high of 75. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 56. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
John was an active man. He'd go for runs, walk the golf course, and always take the stairs instead of the elevator. But then bone-on-bone knee pain got in the way and affected his mobility. It became too painful to even go for walks. And when it seemed like John's only option was knee replacement surgery, a friend told him about the Joint Relief Institute and their affordable, non-surgical knee pain relief. John met with the Joint Relief Institute and discovered their lubricating gel treatment could rejuvenate his lost cartilage. Safe, effective, no surgery. Long story short, John is now back to being active without pain or medication.
There is an alternative to knee replacement surgery. Stop living in pain. Call the Joint Relief Institute today, 708-315-6800, or visit jointreliefinstitute.com. Locations in Glenview, Oak Brook, and Orland Park. That's 708-315-6800. Medicare and most private insurance plans accepted. Reclaim your mobility with the Joint Relief Institute.
All right, I don't normally push products I don't believe in, so listen up because I love this one and recommend it to friends and listeners. It's Virago Liquid Immune Support. I spoke with Dr. Huber. I even called him and said, what is going on? I started taking Virago a few months ago, and I don't have shoulder pain anymore. Well, he let me know that besides having a stronger immune system when you take Virago, it also helps with anti-inflammatory. It's also an antioxidant and antiviral. And it absorbs straight into your system. Why? Because it's a liquid, and it helps, and this stuff works. And because it's liquid, your body absorbs it quickly. So I mix my Virago with orange juice in the morning. I feel the difference, and you will too. So order your bottle of Virago today at myvirago.com. That's myvirago.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. myvirago.com, coupon code IMMUNE.
Every morning, students and faculty fill your school's hallways. And every morning, parents trust you to know who's there with them. With ID Supply, that trust is earned and visible. From student and staff ID cards to secure visitor badge systems, ID Supply helps you instantly identify who belongs on campus at a glance, while keeping your entire facility safer. Visitor badges expire automatically, so no one stays longer than they should. And parents, they can feel confident knowing their school has a system in place. Need supplies? We've got you covered. ID card printers, ribbons, and custom lanyards in your school colors. Most orders ship same day. Parents, if your child's school doesn't have a visitor ID system, ask them about ID Supply, because knowing who's on campus shouldn't be a question. Get 10% off your first order with code SCHOOL10. That's SCHOOL10. Visit idsupply.com or call 800-647-5562. Again, that's 800-647-5562. ID Supply. Trusted by schools for over 20 years.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering 24/7 security solutions for homes and businesses. Call them today at 708-889-5600.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, welcome back. Whoa. I think we're going to go with patriotic music from now on. What's this? This is headbanging stuff.
I don't know.
I
guess so. Freedom of choice, I guess. Yeah, freedom of speech in the entertainment world. Yes, Alderman Lopez, he's a good friend of the show, and we played it earlier. He called out Sigcho Lopez for possibly being involved in a hoax. So he's here to join us with that, and then he's going to give us a preview, Jeannie, of a proposal for tomorrow's city council meeting. Good afternoon, Alderman Lopez. How are you?
Ladies, happy Tuesday to you and your listeners.
Yes. So did you get any heat for talking to Channel 7 yesterday about Sigcho Lopez?
I think the Chicago contrarian said I dropped a nuclear truth bomb on him.
So why do you think that this is a possible hoax?
Well, let's call it for what it is. They're fireworks.
Yeah.
We are entering the 4th of July season, And I don't know about most of your listeners, but I know my neighborhood's been pretty loud and active since Memorial Day. I mean, not only is it gearing up for the 4th of July, but it's also America's 250th birthday. Big year for us in this country. And anyone who saw that video knows there were sparklers, there were flames, there was all kinds of pyrotechnics coming out of that little cube that was put on the corner. Fireworks. Now, for my colleague to turn around and say, "Oh, this was a politically motivated attack," and to try to use that to gain sympathy for his failing congressional bid, I think is really disingenuous. And it's a slap in the face to people who really do experience political violence here and abroad. Just like anytime you cry racism over something you don't like, it really takes away from real racist events or sexist events or any kind of other hateful type messaging when everything becomes what you're talking about. So yes, I did get some heat. I got a nice terse message from him this morning, now claiming that this was an event designed to terrorize his children. But, you know, one has to question, if this had happened to any of your homes, because I know if it had happened to mine, I would not have waited 9 hours to call the police. I would have called immediately, if not gone around the neighborhood looking to see who did this.
Well, I had heard rumblings that he was not even at home, that he was possibly at their condo on State Street.
Which could very well be. And I think that we know that, you know, he resides at one location while his wife lives at another. And that might answer as to why it took 9 hours to get 911 called, because he wasn't home. But I think that we have to be truthful and honest about what's going on here. And yes, it's unfortunate. Yes, I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. But this was not a terrorist attack. It was not a MAGA attack. It's not because he speaks out about immigration or Palestine or whatever. It's because people don't know he lives there. They set up a firework display at the corner of his block, and it damaged his property. Case closed.
Yeah, and it was just one. I mean, nobody was injured, obviously. But look at the surveillance video. I mean, Jeannie, look at this. He just looks like a kid. Hey, here's a street corner. I'm going to just light off a firework.
Well, speaking of kids and teenagers, you know, great. They do let off fireworks. Who hasn't as a kid on the streets? But it's taken another level here in Chicago with the teen takeovers. And I think you're proposing a solution now, which is great.
Well, I had proposed in October of 2023 to start holding parents accountable for the actions of their children. 2023, so 3 years ago. This past March, the Committee on Public Safety met, and the socialist and progressive members tried to stop and voted against my proposal, not wanting to hold parents accountable for the actions of their children. Teen takeovers, not their fault. Drinking, smoking marijuana, breaking all kinds of crimes, as well as those who contribute to the delinquency of those minors, no, we're not going to take any action. But yet, here we are, a dozen teen takeovers later since March. Now everyone wants to take some action. Now they want to step up to their game because they know that voters are tired of this nonsense. Residents are tired of seeing 400 or 500 youth not just trampling through Hyde Park, but blocking intersections and lighting the asphalt on fire, doing donuts and being stupid, because we know all of those activities are dangerous. We know people come with weapons. We know that people get hurt. Our officers are outnumbered, and it has to come to an end. So what we're going to do is revive the effort that was done in March, because I used a procedural move to keep it alive, and I'm going to call for a vote tomorrow and have everyone go on record as to whether or not they want to hold parents accountable with a new ordinance that is addresses the concerns of our law department in terms of when and how you hold parents accountable, as well as incorporate some of the best practices from cities like Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., where we have just seen, like Janine Pirro, working with local city council in Washington to create laws that hold parents accountable for these curfews and other events.
So
we've incorporated all of that to say that if parents knowingly or willingly allow their children to participate, not only will they get a citation or be forced to do community service, but they will also be required to do family counseling with the youth, with all parents or guardians involved, so that we can start getting parents to pay attention and become better parents, because ultimately it's not about spending more money on programs. It's about getting parents to pay attention to what their kids are doing out on the streets, especially after 10 o'clock.
Wow, I really appreciate that effort, because I think that's exactly right. And you know, you look in the past here, this whole teen takeover thing. I mean, what's the historical backing of this? I mean, I think they've been going on for a while, but they've become so much more than just, oh, we're going to go out and be rowdy for a half hour. They've become violent. I mean, you've kind of had kids, you know, toilet papering houses or something like this, but this is a whole different level.
Absolutely. I mean, this is not just merely kids having a couple beers in the park, or like you said, toilet papering home or staying out late at night. I mean, you literally have hundreds of kids on the southwest side, for example, taking over Archer and Pulaski so that they could do donuts and set the asphalt on fire, doing that under Lower Wacker Drive, or having these open-air urban meetups where 500-600 people descend on the Bean or Hyde Park or other locations and destroy neighborhoods because they think it's cool for social media clicks. Mm-hmm. We have to deal with this in a very different way. And I think the history, to be honest with you, this really came to the forefront in 2020 when we saw under then Mayor Lori Lightfoot, when she canceled the Mexican Independence Day parade, that community decided to do their own car caravans and takeovers downtown on the Mag Mile, if you recall.
Oh, I remember that. People couldn't get in at all.
Yep.
Some just Dan Proft, he had to stay in a hotel out here because he couldn't get into his house.
So, I mean, that's one way to create tourism, I guess, trap people in hotels. But at the same time, you know, that's where this started, and it was never clamped down upon. City Council at that time, following the George Floyd murder and things of that nature, didn't want to show that they were putting pressure and using the police to hold youth accountable, and it just ballooned from there. Every occasion became an occasion for a street takeover or doing something crazy under Lower Wacker Drive or in the neighborhoods. And then it eventually evolved beyond cars and just became bodies, overwhelming police and taking over. And we started seeing that in August of 2020, when, if you you remember the famous picture of the police standing in front of the raised bridge of Lower Wacker,
yes,
trying to prevent the youth from descending upon the other side of Michigan Avenue. Mm-hmm. And all of those things have escalated to where we're at now because we've never had the wherewithal to say parents should hold their kids accountable for all of this madness. We make excuses, and I think now, 6 years later, we've had enough of excuses. We're tired of what the kids have been doing, and it's time to rein it all back in.
So the vote is tomorrow in the city council for a committee hearing or the council at large?
No, it will be for the council at large to vote on whether or not we are going to approve the new ordinance created to hold parents accountable by making them required to do either community service, pay higher fines, as well as attend family counseling with their disruptive youth.
You should add in to take away their cell phone.
And as well, if you are an adult contributing to any of that madness, you're also going to get hit with a $10,000 fine.
Well, do you have any support from other aldermen besides like Riley and Hopkins, probably, and some others?
Well, Amy, I will say we have the usual suspects, the Common Sense group that is fully behind this. But we really need your listeners and indeed all of Chicago to call their aldermen and say that they've had enough of this stupidity and they want parents held accountable as well. It's amazing and sad at the same time just how many of the socialists and progressives still are trying to make excuses for this behavior and trying to negate any kind of accountability as if everyone is to blame except the actual perpetrators of what's going on the streets.
Alderman Lopez, I wanted to turn to a different topic with the couple of minutes we have left with you, and that was this parking meter deal. Now, I mean, the history of that is just so problematic. I mean, the fact that it was a 75-year lease signed in December 2008, obviously not well designed because in about 10 years' time. The company made back all their money, and they're going to go ahead and, for 57 years more, continue to profit off of public right-of-ways, quite frankly. And what's most depressing about it is that the $1.15 billion that the city received in exchange for selling the rights was only used to provide, and I'm reading directly from the City of Council Office of Financial Analysis about this, it was only used to provide short-term budget relief and support certain social programs and contribute to the city's long-term reserve fund and budget stabilization fund. Well, we know they have no long-term reserve fund or budget stabilization fund. And we know that the social problems, like we were just discussing, have failed largely. And we know that the short-term budget relief was literally short-term because you continue to have budget problems every single year. This was such a bad deal. What are you guys looking at doing coming up here? Because that's going to be another big vote.
So right now, the current owners of the lease are trying to transfer ownership to a new multinational conglomerate to own it. Some of the socialists and progressives are up in arms because they say that firm also has an ownership stake in a company that deals with immigration, deportations, and flights. But many of us, 22 of us, in fact, originally said we were not going to support the sale and vote no because the mayor's office was not sharing the documentation that we'd asked for, not showing what our concession possibilities were, and as well what we could do to help lessen the burden on Chicago taxpayers. They provided us an overwhelming amount of information last Friday at the 11th hour, which many of us are still going through. But I think the goal is to do and avoid exactly what you just said, Jeannie. We don't want to have another boondoggle on our hands 20 years later by missing the opportunity to say, how can we make this less hurtful and painful to the residents of the city of Chicago, to the taxpayers who are forced to pay a private company for the ability to park on a publicly owned street. And I think that is where we are trying to see what concessions we can extract. I think the other thing that we want to look at is something that's called the true-up, which is when a street is taken offline, whether it's for construction or for festivals or things of that nature, or for bike lanes. Taxpayers are required to pay this company in addition to what we've already given them to make up for their lost revenue, which I think is ridiculous. We spend millions of dollars just paying for the bike lanes that now take up parking spaces because we didn't find them suitable replacement space to make the same money back. So there are plenty of things that we need to try to renegotiate in our time as we deal with in this moment. I think the city missed a huge opportunity to genuinely explore purchasing these meters back, which is what all of Chicago wants. Even if we had to take out a $10 billion loan, we would have made that money back in 4 years. So why didn't we do it? That would have been the most sound thing we could have done. But then again, expecting Mayor Johnson to do something sound and competent isn't exactly something that we should all be planning on.
Well, good luck tomorrow. We'll be looking forward to the vote and seeing, it's good that you're getting progressives on the record about this law. So thank you so much.
All right, ladies. Thank you.
All right. Coming up, your phone calls, comments, and we've got a lot of text messages pouring in. 312-642-5600.
This is the show that the Chicago Press Corps and the Democrats in Springfield don't want you to hear. It's the real story on AM 560. The Answer.
When the seasons shift, you need a heating and cooling team you can trust to keep your home just right. That's where Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, the original, comes in. This family-owned gem has been a local favorite for more than 45 years, sending only their own top-notch, highly trained technicians to your door. Whether it's a quick repair, a full installation, or anything in between, their work is unmatched, and their customer service feels like family. Keeping you cozy in the winter and cool in the summer, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling delivers comfort you can count on. I've known Garrett and his family for years, and they are great friends of AM 560. Dial 847-545-1700 or visit arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. Mention AM 560 and enjoy 20% off your first service call. Again, go to arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, but absolutely the best.
Are you prepared for the Illinois estate tax? If your estate is worth over $4 million, your heirs could face a tax bill of up to 16% when you pass. Financial advisor Scott Tucker and the team at Scott Tucker Solutions can show you ways to potentially reduce or even eliminate that burden. One strategy is to start gifting assets during your lifetime to lower the taxable value of your estate. Another option is setting up irrevocable trusts, which can shield wealth from estate taxes. Charitable donations and life insurance policies can also be smart tools to offset tax liabilities. Call Scott Tucker and the Scott Tucker Solutions team now, 847-474-3888, or go to 560retirement.com. That's 847-474-3888, or go to 560retirement.com. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Firm may not give tax advice.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, 312-642-5600. That is the number if you want to chime in on any of the Illinois-related topics that we've been discussing.
All right, let's go to a couple callers real quick. Jeanne and Wheaton. Jeanne, welcome to the program. You've been holding on for a while.
Yes, I have. You mentioned the fact that our math scores are all falling out, well, throughout the nation, especially here in Illinois and at our good schools. It was Common Core, and it was done by design.
Yeah, you're right
remember
about
that.
that.
Coming into place back around 2013. You were state rep at the time and telling you about it, and it was absolutely done by design. Our own district, which is District 200, used to do math tests for the kids starting first grade, where there are time tests to do so many multiplication problems on one page. And I remember most of the kids were getting it. It didn't take them long that they'd have them all memorized, and they would get those time tests done very well. There were a handful of parents who were fighting to remove that standard because their child couldn't get it and they thought it was unfair.
Yeah, no, they dumbed down the standards. They've done that everywhere. And we know that because they officially did that at the State Board of Education last year. That's why you can't trust what they say on the new Illinois report card because they, yeah. So you don't know exactly how well your kid is learning. And then, you've had problems too with, kids going to University of California famously has said, what the hell? These kids don't know anything. All right, Jan, we got to move on. Thanks a lot for the call.
Wasn't
Appreciate it.
With Common Core, 2 + 2 is 4. Tell us why.
Yeah.
I remember that one beam. And I wrote down for my son's math, I said, because it is.
Yeah.
That's why. Text message, Jeannie and Amy, the prop at January 6th that had that the goofball was whining about earlier, it was placed there hours before the J6 protest. There is video of 4 to 5 guys setting it up while it is dark out. This was a setup for the cameras, just like the whole unarmed insurrection. I guess it worked because there's still simpletons like John that believe it. So
yeah, that's right. Media matters. Okay, I'm going to take this from Glenn real quick in Orlando. Glenn, welcome to the program.
Yeah, hi there. Listen, the kid that burned the cross, either he gets charged or the alternative is he takes courses on history of cross burning, history of the Constitution, and the history of Christianity, and he has to pass a test and get no lower than an A, and then they expunge the record. That's the choice: get a record or take courses and pass it with an A, and the record gets expunged.
Yeah, and
that's the only way we're going to teach these people.
Right, and they need to do it through Hillsdale, quite frankly, because you can trust their content. Thanks a lot for the call, Glenn. I like that solution.
I bet he doesn't even get a misdemeanor.
All right, Dan in Hanover Park.
I don't think this plan to punish the parents for the kids' crimes is a very good idea. It doesn't really teach accountability at all. The kids are responsible for this, and they're going to do lots of stupid stuff. I know I did when I was a kid, and my parents were saints. They did everything right. I made my own mistakes. And for something like this, where do you draw the line? Is it just for these teen takeovers, or is it vandalism, drinking, thieving, anything like that? Are the parents responsible for all of this sort of thing? Because the kid is the one responsible. They should be punished heavily if you really want to create the deterrent, which I am all for that. And I understand that the parents can be at fault for a lot of this. A lot of times they're just not doing their job, and that's why these kids run amok. So I understand the intention, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I don't think it's right to punish other people for anybody else's crimes. He even mentioned something about how the left is always clamoring for an accountability, and he says that this gives it to them. I don't think it does, because the parents aren't accountable. I'm sure the parents of the Columbine kids were probably good people. They still did what they did. You know, they shouldn't be punished for that. Just like, you know, Remington or Smith & Wesson shouldn't be blamed for anybody committing a gun crime. You can't blame Ford for my car.
Dan, I understand your point.
Yeah, but I disagree a little. If you know that your son or daughter is suffering from mental health issues, you as a gun owner, you should lock up that gun. I mean, that's just, and you know, there's so many cases where parents, they went shooting with their kids when they knew they had mental illness.
All right, Dan, thanks. I appreciate your perspective. All right, let's go quickly to Ron on the South Side. We'll get through these calls here.
Totally disagree with Dan. And maybe they can tweak it. We keep talking about this situation, okay? And so someone has finally come up with a solution. As soon as I get off the phone, I'm calling my alderman, Michelle Harris. I know the number just like I know these. I am going to let her know.
Good.
It's support. And then this is what I'm telling her. If you don't support it, because she know me, I'll be at the next meeting, first person in line, and say, explain to our community why you voted against it. And we commend Alderman Lopez. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it. Okay, go to Craig, because he called earlier. Craig.
You have 10 seconds, Craig.
Jeanne and Amy, thank you very much. That January 6th was the greatest attack on America with our basically just law-abiding patriot citizens. It was a trap. They need to get all those people and lock them up and everything that did that to the Americans. And that it's the biggest atrocity against us that has ever been perpetrated by our government.
Well, what we know is there were FBI plants there. We know that, and we still haven't found out their names, and there's been no accountability for that.
Hopefully
Craig,
we'll get that.
Thank you so much for the call. Eduardo, we'll catch you next time. Appreciate your information.
And we want to thank everyone who attended the AM 560 golf outing. With the total, $82,292 raised for Tunnel to Towers. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. It was so good to see all of you out there. And keep on listening to AM 560 The Answer. We're back here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.